Hello everyone, it's me again, Steedoj here, back to more Dragon Ball Sparking Zero news. And we actually got an update on how all the new clashes and gameplay features that weren't in the previous Tenkaichi games are actually making an appearance for the first time now, and all of their mechanics. This information comes from Zed, however you pronounce it, and if it wasn't for him we wouldn't be able to see any of this, so link in the description. But without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the four new features we have are the melee, the dash, the grab, and the ki blast. Now, we've seen what ki blast clashes have looked like for the longest time, but we have not seen any of the other three unique features here. We're going to start off with melee. I do want to ask you guys to subscribe with the bell to stay up to date, and don't forget to leave a like for the new Sparking Zero information, and let's go! The first one, which is melee, you've already seen it. Time the first input, then either spam the button or spin the stick. What you didn't know is that the clash's victory is actually determined with the first QTE. The second part is just to make you do more damage or take less damage. So like this box says, divide it into a single hit part and not a consecutive hit part. For the single hit part, press with the timing graphic is closer to the center to win the exchange. During the consecutive hit part, press multiple times to increase the damage from your finishing move. The loser of the exchange in a single hit part will be able to raise their damage rate. So again, I don't think you know you've lost until you've actually finished the second part, which is very interesting and very different. It just depends on who lands the first part, but then if you're a better player, you might be able to mitigate the damage you take even though you lost the first part. So keep that in mind. You can actually save yourself from a lot of unfortunate circumstances in this game. And the second clash is a dash clash. This happens when two steps or two short dashes collide. Now keep in mind, short dashes are like the new movement of the game basically, so this one should be happening like the most by far. And what happens is the game displays either a block or attack button, and you have to be quicker to press it than your opponent, and you have to win 3 out of the 5 exchanges to win. So press the melee or defense button. The fastest player to press the button earns 1 exchange. Whoever earns 3 out of 5 of the exchanges is the winner, and pressing the wrong button results in a loss of 1 exchange. So, I don't know, it's kind of like Simon Says, except Simon tells 2 different people to do 2 different actions, and whoever does it first is the winner. Except they have to go, like, you know, best 3 out of 5, right? So, a good example is, you could get, let's say me and you get into a clash, right? You could get blocked 3 times, and if you get 3 of those blocks faster than I get 3 of my punches in a row, then you would actually beat me in exchange, even though all you did was defend yourself. So keep that in mind. Blocking doesn't just mean you're mitigating damage, it's actually winning an exchange. Because it says whoever is the fastest just wins an exchange. So even if you're just guarding, that counts as an exchange. It's not just all about attacking when it comes to the dash clash. The next clash is the grab clash. If you hold the button until it reaches its peak and let go, keep it held down for too long and you'll go back down. So the longer you hold this, the higher the bar goes. But if you hold it for too long, it'll reset. And that's been in like a lot of games. I think you guys might be familiar with such mechanics. So that's pretty simple. Building power by holding down the button. And keep in mind, we can actually see what these buttons are. So X is probably because it's an Xbox controller, so it's square for all of you PlayStation players out there. You will lose all the power if you hold for too long. So just let go before you reach the limit. Whoever maintains a higher power level is the winner. I see. And I'm imagining you can boost all of these mechanics too, because you could boost to a ki blast clash. So I imagine you'd be able to boost all of these too. Ki clash is basically the same as it's always been in BT3 Ultimates. Don't spam, just press when the bar is at its highest. Oh, this one's actually a big box. Okay. Oh, you guys might not be able to see all of that, so I will read it out. Power is determined by the timing of when you press the button. Whoever has the higher power wins. You can achieve greater power by aiming for the proper timing rather than just randomly smashing the button. So yeah, I think I've said this in my ki blast breakdown video. If you guys want a more thorough breakdown on how ki blast clashes work, I'll link that in the description as well. But I already did a full breakdown of the ki blast clash. It's not any different from how I'm reading it here. And that means I'm probably also correct about the boost mechanic too. But we'll see if... Aha, yeah, there's a boost mechanic. So for all these clashes, you can press the boost button to gain an advantage, but it costs ki. For melee clashes, in the first part, it makes it easier to gain a max score. Max score? I thought it was whoever went first. Okay. Second part, it will boost your attack and can be used up to 3 times. So, okay, so if you do this, it might give you more points regarding who hits it first if you press boost before actually going for a melee clash option. And when you get to the second part, you can actually deal more damage if you boost, but it doesn't sound like you can boost your defense. So only the winner would get to be able to dump more ki into this to do more damage. So keep that in mind. It could get scary if you're on the losing side for a melee clash. I see, okay. For grab clashes, it breaks the limits of the gauge, allowing you to build more power into it. Okay, that makes sense. So instead of the gauge being like 100% and then resetting back down to 0, you could probably break it to 120%. Okay, that's simple. For dash clashes, it improves the timing. The more you boost, the more lenient it gets. So yeah, the more you boost, I think all of these, you might be able to boost all of these by 3 times, but grab clashes only seems to be like once. So that's interesting. It improves the timing. That's curious. Does that make the window bigger? Okay. Maybe it just makes it so that even if you're slower, it'll take some seconds off for you, like some nanoseconds maybe, some microseconds. So that way it counts as your exchange. I think it would do something like that. And yeah, for beam clashes, adds more power. We already knew that for beam clashes, though. Again, link to that video in the description. And yeah, the burnout feature. However, if you use too much ki, you'll be left in a fatigue state, having to recover your ki. Your character becomes completely defenseless for a period of time. Triggers after an impact boost with little ki left, and your ki drops to 0. Rapidly pressing any button shortens the duration of the collapse. So keep in mind, you could actually win an exchange by dumping all of your ki into it. But if you do, you'll probably be KO'd for so long that after you win the exchange, your enemy can probably just clap it back straight away. And that would be very bad for you, obviously, because you don't want to take all that damage just to win one clash. I would say that's probably more worth it to do if you think your enemy doesn't have enough health to survive what's coming, or something similar of the like. And Zaid says, so they basically turned the mindless spinning minigame into more of a gambling and resource management minigame, while still keeping the timing and reflex elements. I dig it. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I don't get me wrong, as much as I love like mindless action and stuff like that, I do think that rewarding people for actually knowing how to like do stuff rather than just press a button faster or more than someone else, right? Rewarding people for knowing how to do stuff and responding at the right time with the right clash is very, very cool. I do like this mechanic more. And like Hibby says, let's go gambling. Because basically, it's kind of a gambling minigame. It's like, do I put all of my ki in for the chance that I might win? You know, some idle death gamble type of beat. It's like, oh, do I want to put all of my stakes on the line for this one chance? Yep, I will. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it. We'll just go over all the clash types again really quick. I'll see if I can also show gameplay of them when it's possible, right? But melee clashes is you both connect into each other. I'm assuming you do this by colliding melee attacks, which is curious. I'm not sure when that would occur. But when you collide melee attacks, I guess maybe sometimes, or depending on the severity of the attack, it will trigger a melee clash. Then whoever presses the first input that shows up on the screen, obviously, is the actual victor. The second part of the melee clash is just to determine who takes more or less damage, which is very curious. The dash clash, which should again happen very often, is going to happen when 2 people just dash into each other. So basically, if you're playing Xenoverse 2, this will happen literally every waking moment. And it's just Simon Says, but Simon tells 2 different people to press 2 different buttons, and whoever presses it first wins a round of Simon Says. Grab clashes. Grabs are a lot more frequent in this game, so this isn't a joke, by the way. Grabs are much faster in Sparking Zero, and they can also be done in the middle of combos. I've seen several YouTubers get comboed by grabs from NPCs, so grabs are just a lot faster in Sparking Zero. It's really realistic for 2 people especially, to just go grab each other at the same time. And once you do grab each other, you can, again, hold each other down, build more power, or you can boost your ki into it and get easier time with the exchange. Keep in mind, boosting your ki into all of these will make all of these easier, and in some cases, like the melee one and the beam clash ones, you'll do more damage too. So yeah, and speaking of beam clashes, again, connect 2 beam clashes, just get more score than, you know, the enemy by making sure your bar is as high as possible, but that it doesn't completely reset to 0. And again, if you add more ki into this, it becomes easier to do, and you do more damage if you succeed. You probably also take more damage if you lose, though. So, just a reminder. And also the fatigue state. But I think that's a good place to end the video. Again, Zaid is such a goat. Please go check him out. Please go follow him. I love the fused Zamasu Frieza profile picture, by the way. Like the merged Frieza profile picture. That's great. And I think that's a good place to end the video. Again, I do hope you guys all enjoyed. And if you enjoyed, then obviously, again, please leave a like in the video. And don't forget to subscribe to greatly support the channel. And leave a comment down below as to what you'd like to see next. Love you all. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you all next time. Take care and peace.